Hey guys, Chris Villa here, pro disc golfer from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and two-time winner of the Stafford Open. You know, we're here at Worlds Week. This is a time where we reflect on the positive influence our wonderful sport has had all over the globe. And all the players playing on the world stage this week all started playing this sport locally in their local park, at their local course. And there, not only did they find a passion, but they found a place they could enjoy nature, a place they could spend time with their friends and their family, a place that welcomes everyone. And for me, that place is, and hopefully will always be, Stafford Woods in Voorhees, New Jersey. Please join us in the fight to save Stafford Woods. Thank you.
And we are here. We have made it to the 2023 Pdga Professional Disc Golf World Championships presented by LL Bean. Excited to be here in Jeffersonville, Vermont. I'm Nathan Queen, again joined by Andrew Fish.
And this is traditionally the home of the Green Mountain Championships. That's going to take a year off, being replaced here by Worlds. And this is the second time that the Smuggler's Notch Resort, with its two great courses on site, has hosted Pro Worlds.
And as always, we've got a great card for you here. Simon Lizotte, Aaron Gossage, Calvin Heimburg, and Niklas Anttila.
You see there the world rankings. This is maintained by the Pdga. Calvin Heimburg on top there, Paul McBeth, Eagle McMahon. A lot of really, really great players here, and all of them showing up ready to compete over 5 rounds. This first round and the third round are going to be on the Brewster Ridge Disc Golf Course. And Simon Lizotte, our first player, putting with the Electron Anode. His mids are the Hex, Pyro, and Deflector. Those are going to get a lot of work in the woods here. And then a variety of drivers for some of the bigger shots.
Yeah, Aaron Gossage putting with that Jawbreaker Challenger. Going to see some zone, a lot of zone actually, along with some Buzz OS. We'll see some Raptors and Captain's Raptors, and then might move up to the Force, or maybe a Venom. Calvin Heimburg, seen many times here on Gatekeeper Media this year. KC Pro AVR, going to be upshotting with the Rhinos and the Toros a lot. Might see some Rock 3s as well, but imagine we'll see lots of Eagles and Draco out here in the woods.
And Niklas Anttila from Finland, sponsored by Discmania. You see he's going to putt with the D-Line Flex P1. A couple upshots with Senseis and Tactics, and then a variety of mids in there, MD1, MD3, MD5. And I know he's very proficient with his fairway drivers as well. Hole 1, 320 feet. This is just about as friendly as this course is going to get. Nice wide cap, gentle right turn. Only change for this year from previous events is that the road beyond the basket is lined as out of bounds.
In the tee box, from Germany, he's representing MVP Disc. Let's show him what we really think of him. Let's hear it for Simon Lizotte.
And Simon Lizotte, fresh off of a playoff win at the Discraft Great Lakes Open. What a feeling that must have been for Simon. Second win of the year.
For sure, and great to come in on a winning streak. Not a whole lot of players in the field can say that. Simon's going to throw the flex forehand, but just turns it too much. Trying to throw it soft, but not soft enough, I guess.
Joining us next from Grand Junction, Colorado. He's representing Discraft. Let's hear it for Aaron Gossage.
Gossage, I know, really likes his forehand. And the Brewster Ridge layout is very favorable for players who are comfortable with their strength. If you like your forehand, you're going to throw it a lot. If you like your backhand, you can shape that as well.
Gossage has to have a few extra feels here at Worlds, and he shows it right here with a little bit of extra power. Going to find that OB long, but in the playoff last year, just coming up short.
Next up from Safety Harbor, Florida. He's representing Innova Champion Discs. Let's make some noise for Calvin Heimburg.
Nathan, you're absolutely right. So much of disc golf is about creating chances for yourself, not just in each round, but like getting yourself a tournament that can put the stamp on the season. Gossage did that last year. Interested to see how he backs this up this year. Heimburg, nice and high backhand turning.
Oh my goodness. Calvin Heimburg on a roll with these shots hitting metal. Has been throwing it in for days now.
Gatekeeper Media seems to keep finding these Heimburg highlights. Gives it the height, starts to stall out. Maybe good thing basket got in the way. That still had some pace on it.
Yeah, right on line though, and able to be a bullseye after hitting the band. Man.
Finland. He's representing Team Dismania. Let's make some noise for Niklas Anttila.
And poor Niklas has to follow that up. He's going to line up the backhand as well.
Yeah, I saw 2 forehands not quite work out, and then the backhand hit the band. Not usually what you see when you're 4th on the tee on hole 1.
And slight hyzer release, snaps up to flat. No danger of the band, but definitely danger of a second bullseye.
Yeah, that's more what you're supposed to do on the hole when you want to get the bullseye birdie.
Simon with the controlled putter up shot. That should be easy work to start off with a par. And Gossage with a pretty generous spot, I think, able to squeak in the par putt.
Yeah, definitely one of the holes you feel like you need to start your round with a birdie, to be honest, knowing the way that this course goes into the woods. Definitely no bogeys, though.
And Heimburg and Anttila going to jump to the top of the box as we go into one of those woods.
Yeah, our first par 4, 550-foot hole 2. Pretty straight shot off of the tee. You have to make sure that you stay to the right of this tree we're passing right now. Otherwise, you're going to be pretty pinched off. You do have OB all the way up this rock wall on the right side. Second shot fairly straight as well. May shape off to the right a little bit.
And Heimburg early releases and boosts hard right. Something to keep an eye on here. The state of Vermont has had historic rains, so the ground is already saturated, and we continued getting some overnight and in the week leading up to this event.
And not an exaggeration, there are tons and tons of wood chips out here to try to help, and I have never stepped on mushier wood chips before.
Yeah, wood chips and straw don't necessarily mean dry. Simon looking for a counter skip, and he actually might have liked that dead skip. It's going to leave him short enough of the guardian tree that he might be able to squeak a flex forehand up the tunnel. Gossage to the backhand. This is hung out right and needs some stability. But that's kind of an accessory lane over there. He'll be able to throw a forehand pretty comfortably, I think.
The rollout to the right definitely helped him a lot to have that forehand line. Calvin, however, in a very tough spot and has put himself in another pretty tough spot. He's going to have to pick a small line through those trees.
And gorgeous flex forehand from a standstill for Aaron Gossage, right up near the bullseye.
Yeah, you can't draw that second shot up much nicer. And as you showed, Simon a little bit farther back had some room to shape. It looks like he is going to stay in bounds after catching some high branches.
Some decent help from the course there to avert the OB stroke. Good position play by Niklas, not going for too much. One more just like that and he'll be under the basket. This is now Calvin's 4th.
Looks like he is going to be able to stretch out a pretty good bit, but doesn't quite get the turnover on this. Still going to be just outside circle 1 though.
And just the little chip forehand. Nicely done by Anttila.
Pretty uphill bid there. Probably 60 feet. Pretty tough to connect on that one. Calvin for, I believe this is for a 6.
That was for a 5. He's, alas, going to take a 6 now. And stabbing in the birdie is Aaron Gossage. At 550, it seems like it should be so simple to get a routine birdie on hole 2, but it does play uphill, and the landing zone is so specific.
Yeah, quite a bit uphill, and the landing zone has some roots in it as well, where if you don't land slow enough, you can be punished.
Hole 3, a brand new tee pad this year, 320 feet uphill. A couple different options here. The drone is flying the right gap, which lends itself to a right-hand, backhand hyzer play. There's also a forehand or hyzer flip route that goes more directly to the basket. And previously, this hole was just cake for everybody. You throw a putter or mid, and everybody birdies it. Now it takes a much more high-level shot to get there. Gossage shows you exactly how to throw that right side gap.
Niklas going for that right side gap as well. This is a little early, but that's a nice touch he's going to get there and end up inside circle 1. I think that right side gap is the gap to go for if you have the play. It's a bit tighter early, but as soon as you hit that early gap, it's pretty open. Going down that left side, it tightens up a good bit late.
The right side also has the hill earlier in the flight, so it's easier to crest that and move back towards the basket. We'll see it again for Simon. More anhyzer and right in the gap, but plenty of stability to catch up late.
Yeah, using a very overstable disc, pulling it right to get around that late tree, I suppose.
And Simon says that's golden. He's not wrong. Calvin is up there about 18, 20 feet. I don't know which gap he was going for, but boy, he found it.
Yeah, I believe he was going for that right gap and found the center gap, which we didn't know existed. And Niklas going to come up just a bit short. After that nice kick, that's when you feel like you got to take advantage of.
And Calvin, a good correction from his previous putt, sticks it in the chains to climb back to even. And Gossage the short uphill putt. Simon to do about the same. And at this time, right after these guys had tapped out on hole 3, there was a weather delay that lasted close to 2 hours. Some storms passing through the area that included some lightning. Just got to wait it out.
I just think the plastic is very premium. It's a high quality material. The way the disc feels in my hand.
I think it's the quality of plastic.
It's unlike any other plastic that you'll find in the industry.
The quality is better than any other company out there.
Again, just consistent plastic. It's something I can consistently trust on every single throw.
There's so many discs to choose from, and I guarantee if you tried every disc in the lineup, you're gonna want to put multiple discs in your bag.
It's extremely high quality. You can only say so much, they have to eventually just try it themselves and see.
Here we are a couple hours later, 5:45. Hole 4, 550-foot par 4. You'd like to get just to the left of those trees and up to this straightaway that you have here. Ideally, you're going to want to have something drifting to the right and then fade back to the left up to these wood chips right around the basket. Again, playing uphill here. And a very specific landing zone off of the tee.
Yeah, very similar to hole 2, but without the out of bounds. The trees are enough challenge here. Gossage going to overpower a mid-range, just sneaks past the first set.
Incredible.
And now he can throw any disc in his bag up to the basket.
I've heard a lot of snap before, but I think Aaron Gossage might take most snap.
Yeah, you definitely hear it coming out of his hand. Simon with a more aggressive play. Rips a roller that stays on the left side. That may or may not give him something to look at.
Yeah,
Hard to say when you're in that cluster of trees. Heimburg's going to go to his flippier eagle. Maybe managing some distraction here. But not a problem.
Yeah, gets that eagle turned over nicely. Surprising that it continued to slide that far to the right. I'm sure he rather would have had it slide straight, but he is going to maintain the edge of that fairway.
And with the mid-range, I like the height of this for Niklas. Splits the second gap. And yeah, Nathan joining the crowd in a collective ooh.
Yeah, lands him in a good spot. Gonna go a bit more of a stable mid-range here. Put a good flex on it. And lines it up nicely, sliding backwards inside bullseye.
And to me, this is just such a hard shot. He's kind of pinned on the right corner here. Has to go Anheuser. And you can't be early or late with that flex coming back.
And alas, he was not right on line. Aaron Gossage choosing to go forehand here. Kind of a tighter line, but no matter, he executes nicely.
And pinched on the right side. Heimburg to the forehand.
Yeah, you can hit gaps over top of this rock wall on the left side. It is a bit cleaner than it has been in years past. But Heimburg getting caught up before that.
This is definitely an Anheuser angle from Simon. And I can't tell if he was going for the roller or a super steep flex, but now pinned on the right.
Oh, and this is kind of what Brewster can do. Just barely pinned. You feel like you have space to throw, but the angles that it creates, very difficult.
Absolutely. And Simon not quite rewarded for a pretty decent tee shot. Very aggressive. But he had a golf decision to make there. Try to attack and accept the risk, or pitch out to the fairway and know he's got a stance. Now this is for 4. And a good line, but not all the way there.
Yeah, it would have been a pretty heroic par save there. Again, with the uphill, the crowd being back there, you can kind of tell how much uphill this is, although it looks pretty flat here on camera.
Yeah, don't be fooled. Gossage, real quick turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
And Niklas also from the bullseye to grab a bird. We're going to play a relatively flat hole for the first time. Hole 5, 305 feet, a par 3. OB rock wall down the entire left side. Either play a straight backhand, probably with a mid or putter, or forehand. Gossage going to go with the Buzz OS here. And the forehand is the preferred shot here.
Yeah, and I like the slower play with the Buzz OS. As you can see, that's still able to get long of the basket, but great line there. Going with a Firebird or something, it's very easy to get a big skip or just kind of crank it.
Cutting just in front of the tree everybody's aiming at. And
wow.
Getting another bullseye is Niklas Anttila. Shows you he's got the backhand and forehand talent. Heimburg had struggled to figure out which of his discs he's going to choose on this hole. Opts to go with Draco.
Yeah, also skipping right by the basket, almost catching some more metal. Gonna settle in those trees just behind it, right around 20 feet.
And as he so often does, Simon provides the real commentary juice for us. Good scramble forehand. Should be able to cover his mistake.
Gossage here for 4 birdies in a row. And count it. I think that might be 50 points too. That looks like it might be in the second ring.
He seems a little nonplussed by it. Calvin going to step up.
For those curious, 4 down is still better than 50 points.
Very arbitrary system. And Niklas from underneath the cage gets to tap in.
Yeah, moves himself to a pretty quiet 3 down so far. Moving into hole 6, 345 feet downhill, par 3. Gonna go just around that tree in the middle of the fairway, hopefully to the right of it or the left of it. You just want to miss it. Probably see putters or stable mid-ranges here trying to control the distance, easy to go long.
2 straight is Aaron Gossage, and I think I neglected to mention it in our intro. This is going to be the last hole of this video. Because of that lengthy delay between holes 3 and 4, this group was unable to finish. They were able to play 12 holes, and in order to get the most that we can to you in one day, Gatekeeper is going to release these in a front 6, a middle 6, and a back 6. That back 6 coming after the conclusion of this round on Thursday.
And we saw Niklas get pretty far down the fairway there. He's going to look to be almost pin high on the left side. And yeah, shout out to Gatekeeper for them getting us this so quickly. Still able to get some disc golf out even without finishing the round.
And you do have to test that back wall if you want to ace run. Simon's going to be left with a circle 2 putt. Gossage the baby forehand, but it's very downhill. Good to find the backstop of a tree.
Definitely so. There's a little rock wall that's down there right around Circle's edge. That's pretty easy to skip over, honestly. And they're a lot slicker today with all the water that has fallen.
Certainly. A couple casual areas on the course as well.
Simon Lizotte just a little bit low left. Our final birdie opportunity here. Looking like some pars on hole 6.
Yeah, the card being shut out on 6, which typically plays as one of the easier holes on the course. Like, pretty generous gap. A lot of shots that can funnel down there. Simon converts. Gossage going to go through his full routine. He's a very deliberate player.
I think that's very important when you're this close to a tree as well. It can make you feel uncomfortable. And I think that was more of a hyzer than his putt is typically on as well. So good conversion there.
Calvin knocks it in, and Niklas will do the same. As you see there, getting about half the holes puts you in pretty good shape among the field. As Aaron Gossage at 4 under, moving with the pack. That's great. For the front 6, Chris Clemens, AB, Isaac Robinson, Nathan Queen. Hey, that's a guy I know.
Hey.
A couple other folks sticking in there at 5 under. Way to get the hot start. That's what you need to do. We will be bringing you the middle 6 coming soon.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining us, and sticking with us through this strange weather delay. For Andrew Fish, I'm Nathan Queen. We'll see you guys out there.